Hello and welcome to UK Versus. Today we're talking about the deck I played at the regionals. We're not talking about Dabby 1. I have done more than enough videos in Dabby 1. And if anyone's actually interested in what I played in at regionals in my 9th place Dabby 1, I can make that deck. But essentially it's the exact same list I played at local qualifiers, just with a few tweaks for Izuku Midoriya. It's honestly not that interesting. And honestly, I don't think I even deserved ninth. I should have honestly been in the mid-tables. I got very lucky that a few of my opponents missed triggers, and I really should have been ninth. What I'm going to talk about today is my Mina 1 retro deck. That is because I took a look at these big attacks, as everybody else did, and while everyone else was looking at Shishi Wakamaru going, I can play this in standard, my head immediately went, I miss Mina 1. I miss Mina 1 so much. And then I looked at it and went, oh, I can just play this retro. And I get Ready, Get, Set, Go back. And I get access to more 6 checks. And I get access to the ability to attack in my first turn, which means going second with Mina makes me an absolute monster. And I went 2-1. I dropped the 4th round to jump into a draft. This deck was so much fun to play. Big shout out to Broberg and Nathan and Nick Reagan and all the other people that helped me get off Chaos and onto Life. So the main combination I wanted to play, which unfortunately I didn't get to play, was Colossal Thermal Blast with Mina 1, essentially blowing up all my opponent's foundations and essentially soft locking them out of the game. Yes, it's toxic, yes, it's tricky, but that's retro. If you're not having fun and doing something wacky, you're not playing retro. The only deck I lost to was an Asawi 3 Dark Shadow Ruined City Rampage deck, which was hilarious because I went 2-1 because both our decks were being absolutely nasty. And I just whiffed on my fight on the last turn and drew only 1 attack when I laid 4 foundations, and it was Colossal Thermal Blast. I was like, yeah, cool. I'll need to check more than 1 attack. So why did I keep all the other big attacks? Because they're all super impactful, especially in retro. Call of the Beast 10 allows me to go get Smiling Titan, and Smiling Titan lets me stay alive. Smiling Titan kept me alive during games, just as it does in standard. Knockdown Blow, yes, making my next check higher, but that's my next check to play Shift Attack. So if I know I've got a Shift Attack on top of my deck, I can go Knockdown Blow into... I can go Knockdown Blow, it can hit, I can then check and play no Knockdown Blow or check a foundation, looking for my next one, or if I'm playing Merciless Master, which means I'm going to put my unexpected outcomes, my Thermal Blast on top of my deck. I can go Knockdown Blow, Foundation, into the attack I don't need to check for, and then playing Female Titan on a 10 with +3 to my check, Attack Titan attacks on 11 with +3 to my check, when the lowest I can check is a 7, is very, very cool. The one big difference here to what I was running at regionals is I managed to pick up some more Colossal Titan attacks. So I did cut Attack Titan attacks for Colossal Titan attacks, and I did get to pop that off turn 1. My opponent only built 3. I had 2 Ready, Get, Set, Goes in hand. I was very annoyed at that. So I pitched 1, and then I just started checking. I checked the Colossal Titan attacks, played it, and went, take 5 if you couldn't block this. If not, take even more. It's like, cool. Gaining health, having access to all these abilities, very, very cool. The only attack I did get to keep stringing was Unexpected Outcomes. So I play on a 9, it goes down, it becomes an 11 for 8, which is very hard to block, especially early on. It hits, it flips, I copy a Kraken or other attacks, that hits, so it's still an attack, it goes to momentum at the end of the turn. If that got blocked, it would have completely ended my thing. But because the second attack hits, it goes to momentum. And then I have Merciless Master, which lets me take momentum, put it on top of my deck. So I launch my first attack, Merciless Master, play Foundation, and boom, Unexpected Outcomes for free. and just get into unexpected outcomes every single time. If they kept an attack in hand, if they didn't keep an attack in hand, then unfortunately it either hits and goes, or I don't get to flip it. So either way, they had to deal with this 10 speed 8 every single turn. If I was building this deck again, I would probably switch to a more unexpected outcome featured build rather than Colossal Thermal Blast, because I didn't get to pop it off. But Colossal Thermal Blast was what made me want to meme. Foundation-wise, if it's a 6 check, it's in the deck. I did run some speed hate, I did run some additional build because I did want to string out a little bit more, I did want to have access to more power, and metered hand meant I could literally just go down to 1 card and draw 3. Ready, get, set, go, even if it didn't pop off when I was going second, was just a way for me to check attacks while drawing more cards so I can try and build out. It's very, very cool. One of the things I love about retro as opposed to standard is when I'm looking at a standard deck, all I can think about is, what am I going to run into? What are the issues I'm going to come across? Now, when I was building Dabby, I almost didn't run it because of Dark Deku. I was like, this just loses to Dark Deku. They zero me out and they do it, and then Mike put me onto a card, now Disarming Glance, that was basically shuts down Dark Deku, because if you want your attack to get through, you Disarming Glance and Dark Deku can't touch it. I was like, that's really cool, which is why I ended up running it, and he gave me some other tips, and I probably would have ended up at the bottom half of the table if it wasn't for Mike talking through me on the Friday. So big thanks to Mike. You're so obsessed with the meta and what other people are running that you have to keep building your deck around it. In retro, the card pool and what people are going to be playing is so vast, you physically can't focus on what your opponent's going to be playing. You physically can't go, oh yes, but their meta is going to be Scorpion, or the meta is going to be Shotgun, Spirit Shotgun for infinite damage. You just don't get to do that because there's so many different decks. The meta is so wide, and you just get to go, cool, I'm going to build a deck that's going to do what I wanted to do, to have fun, because retro is a bit more casual, it's a bit more relaxed. And yeah, this deck kind of did just pop off a little bit and let me have some fun, let me get my deck to the point where it was hitting for ridiculous damage, I was healing up, and I absolutely love this deck. I didn't like it more than Dabby Reversal because I didn't get that same reaction from my opponent. So when I was playing Dabby 1 Reversal and I would in their first, they would launch their attack and I would go, first enhance, my next attack gets +3 damage, and then you just get this moment of realization and someone would go, oh no, I know what this is. And I'm like, yeah, it's Dabby Reversal. Like, fuck, it's Dabby Reversal. That was great. This one, however, got a bit more of a different reaction where I check the 4-check, or I check the Colossal Thermal Blast, and my opponent would go, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome. Or like when I was playing against Declan, and I got the Colossal Thermal Blast, and I went, discard a card, play it for free. And he's like, yeah, you can attack on the first turn. That's really cool. Because what are you going to do against a Colossal Thermal Blast on the literal first turn? Well, you had 3 foundations. Like, yeah, no. Yeah, I kind of just have to take that. And then I got this backup, which lets me flip and force him to discard. And it's really, really cool. And it was, me and Declan had such a good game. And all my retro games were so much fun. I played against Matthew, I think, from the Dobbers. I cannot remember my round 1 opponent. I do apologise. They were playing a very cool 7th cross character that basically survives as long as they have another character to keep moving. So basically, my attacks weren't doing damage because it was a replacement effect, so they weren't going to momentum, so my deck was kind of shut down. It was very, very cool. It was very, very interactive. And that's one of the things I do love about retro. Universes drew me in through its old slogan, interesting interactions. All the cards were very cool. The game is very easy to pick up, but very hard to master. And one of the things I loved about Standard when I was first picking up is the different levels of play and the different ways that cards interact with each other. And when you get to retro, it goes to a whole new level. And I absolutely love that. I know a lot of new people are scared to try retro. They don't think they have access to the cards. But I mean, the Dobbers were literally handing out cards. You could turn up with a standard deck, and you still got to walk away with a bunch of retro cards. I got a bunch of retro cards from Mortal Kombat, and I'm like, cool. this actually seems quite interesting. I'm going to give it a try. I don't have them on me because I think they're in the other box, but it's very, very cool. I still have a lot of retro cards to go through, and I'm very interested to get started on my next build. And that's the thing about what I'm looking at now is I'm more interested in building my next retro deck to take to Nats than I am my Nats deck. As sweaty and as competitive as the main event is, it brings out a bad side of me, and I absolutely hate it. I hate being that competitive person. I really do. I'm trying so hard not to be the toxic person I used to be. And playing retro, playing these very cool, more casual events, I enjoy a lot more because it lets me be the person I want to be rather than the person I used to be. But that's a personal story and a personal journey for another time. This is a very cool Mina deck. It's basically kind of filled with blank foundations. They do stuff. Merciless Master lets me put a stack of cards for mental on top of my deck. Egotistic lets me take an attack and draw a card if I haven't already drawn. Alchemist basically lets me mess about with the top of your deck if you do try to draw. Faith Shield was there just because I knew some people were going to be doing mess around stuff. Fast Friendship, I just wanted more high blocks. New training method is there because you can't have any against to go about new training method. I'm running loads of zeros because going first, I wanted to build 5 or 6. I wanted to put as much pressure as possible. Yes, Mina would be committed, but if I could build a minimum of 5, possibly 6, maybe even a cheeky 7, because it's a 0 with 6 in there, so I might be able to check a 6 on it, then I could literally go into my next turn going, you might die now. It's very, very cool. It's very reminiscent of my deck I played in Standard 4 Regionals, which is why when people were looking to play retro during the main event on the Friday, I was like, I can't, because majority of the deck I want to play in retro is currently my Dabby deck. It's so very, very cool. If you have any questions about retro, if you're looking at getting into retro, or if you're just worried about playing retro and you're interested in giving it a try, do reach out to me, reach out to the Dobbers, reach out to basically any old head. I'm not an old head, but any old head, or just let me know. And there are now retro events that the UK are doing on Thursdays. Kai is one of our younger players is running these events, and people are just having a lot of fun playing retro. The retro community is growing, and we're seeing more and more people taking part, and the Dobbers are doing their part to encourage that. Card Goblin are looking at getting into retro. Once I've sorted through all my retro stuff that I keep purchasing on eBay, I'll probably do some stuff with my retro stuff. But it is a very cool format. Do not be intimidated by it. It's just the same as Standard. It's just the same as everything else. Once you've given it a go, once you've seen how cool these interactions are, it's something you'll get addicted to as well. Thanks for watching, and if you have got any questions, I will link this list below. It's a very cool list, and let me know what you think I should do for my next retro list. I've played W Reversal, I've played Mina 1 Titans. What's the next fun, memey retro deck I should build? I'll catch you on a bit. Bye!